Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Mariah Mackey, and I'm the Executive Director for the WSU Alumni Association and Vice President for Advancement with WSU. It's a pleasure to be here as we honor one of WSU's most distinguished alumni. The Alumni Achievement Award, established in 1970, is the highest honor bestowed by the Alumni Association. It recognizes alumni whose service to Washington State University and contributions to their communities and professions are truly exceptional. Fewer than 0.2% of alumni have received this award. Our honoree this evening, Ambassador Roger Nyhus, exemplifies the best of the Cougar spirit, leadership, service, and impact. He is the founder and former CEO of Nyhus Communications, one of Seattle's leading public affairs firms, and one of the largest Native American-owned companies in Washington State. Roger Nyhus served with distinction as U.S. Ambassador to 6 Caribbean nations and has held senior leadership roles on Governor Gary Locke's staff at the Gates Foundation and for the Mayor of Seattle. A proud member of the Chinook Indian Nation, he has been a trusted advisor and advocate for civil rights, sustainability, and economic opportunity. Please join me in watching this video tribute to Ambassador Roger Nyhus.
I thought I wanted to be a broadcaster, and there's really only one place to go for broadcasting, and that's WSU. And I didn't know that, though, until really I had already started at the UW. And so I started talking to people about how do I, go into broadcasting, and they said, well, you have to transfer. you have to leave here. Why would I not go to WSU? It has the best communications program. So I transferred largely and exclusively because of the Murrow College. I love journalism, but I didn't want to live in a small town. And I knew that if I was going to pursue journalism, I'd be living in small towns, kind of like where I grew up. So I wanted to live in the big city. I got a great PR job, and it was super creative, and I got to do all kinds of incredible things.
He was like a whirlwind that came in, massively great ideas came off. He thought there's no way he'll ever pull these off, and he always did.
I did that for a couple of years, and then I got recruited to Russell, and I loved it, except the commute. So I was driving from Seattle to Tacoma every day, and I just one day went to my boss and said, I can't handle this commute. And I said, okay, I quit. And she said, well, don't quit, become a consultant for us. And I honestly didn't even know what that meant. And that's how I started my consulting business, which lasted for 30 years.
We were having breakfast, and he's talking about this idea, and all of a sudden, the next meeting we had was in a beautiful office, filled with people, and he had grown a business. He built a firm in Seattle from nothing to being the leading PR firm.
I would describe Roger as one of the most caring individuals that I know. He also puts his money, name, reputation on the line for the things and the people that he cares for.
We are sitting in the Seattle White House. I didn't name it. It's been called that for many years, but I use it for a lot of good causes, political things, supporting nonprofits that I care about. And I had the privilege of hosting then Vice President Biden when he was running for president the first time and when he eventually won. I helped them for the duration of the campaign, and at the very end, they asked me, they said, Roger, is there anything that you want? I said, no. I said, I didn't do this to get anything. I did it because I believe in, this candidate. There's nothing you would want? And I literally said, how about ambassador? And that is how it happened.
He has taken his care and compassion global as an ambassador, and that speaks volume. And he was a connection representing this country to a community that doesn't necessarily look like him, doesn't necessarily have the same interests as him. I think that this goes further into there is no one like Roger Nyhus, and no one far as compassion and caring?
A lot of it for me was helping these countries elevate their voice in the United States and ideally fostering stronger connections. That's a lot of what the ambassador does. So it's largely a PR job.
He understands how to draw together people from all walks and have them working toward a common goal. And I just don't think there's a lot of people in this world in any industry that do that effectively.
In 2020, in the wake of the murder of George Floyd, Roger was leading the Community Development Roundtable through the Seattle Chamber of Commerce. And he asked me to speak my truth to this, to the Community Development Roundtable. And I did not want to. And Roger told me then, they need to hear your truth, your anger, your hurt. And that's the only way that things will change. A lot of things came out of that, inclusive of launching the only Black philanthropic organization fund in the state of Washington, the Black Future Co-op Fund. Roger probably doesn't even know that he helped me find my voice at a time where I was frustrated and angry and probably would have been more comfortable in retreating back, but he helped me to lean in.
Roger, congratulations. You are a 1 in a million, and I am so pleased that that is being recognized with this wonderful award.
Congratulations, my friends. I am so happy for you, and I can't imagine anyone more deserving of this honor.
Roger Nyhus truly reflects the best of the Murrow legacy and the very best of Washington State University. On behalf of the WSU Alumni Association, we congratulate and celebrate you.
Murrow and WSU remind me of my roots, which are, small and mighty. You have to fight for what you want. But I think there's a scrappiness about WSU that doesn't exist in a lot of colleges, like much bigger ones that might be just down the road here. I love the scrappiness. I love the tight-knit alumni. I'm very happy to be part of the Cougar Nation.
Ambassador Nyhus, please join me on stage. On behalf of the 250,000 alumni of Washington State University and the Alumni Association, WSU, we congratulate you. We're incredibly proud that you made that decision not to go to that other school.
Or to leave it. Thank you. Wow. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. So before we start, and I just wanted to point out the suit. So once again. So Anna and I are matching today. We both look very cougar. I want to say just a heartfelt thank you. And I want to also comment on your perfect choices for the earlier awardees, both of whom played roles in my career. And so I'm here standing on the shoulders of giants, Sherry, Greg. I gave Greg his first tour of the Alaska Airlines headquarters when I was an intern and he was a brand new, senior executive, but it was so ironic that here we are today. And Sherry, same, our lives have intertwined, and so many people, everything in my career I really come back to this amazing place and this amazing moment. And I just want to say I'm very deeply grateful for this. And I want to begin by honoring my mom and grandma, who you saw in this amazing video. I'm a first gen grad, And I grew up in a very small place on the coast of Washington in Westport. My dad was a fisherman and my mom was a court clerk. And we were all members of the Chinook Indian Nation, a tribe that is not even currently recognized by the federal government. It was recognized briefly, and then that recognition was removed. So even though I'm one of only 5 Native American ambassadors in history, my tribe is not even recognized by the United States government. So it's a really poignant moment. And my Native background, many of my friends don't know I'm Native American because I don't look Native American, but what does look Native American mean? But you don't know. You never know. You should never assume based on what someone looks like and their personal stories. But my mom and grandma, I was raised by my mom until there was a tragedy in my family, and my grandma raised me, and they were strong, resilient women. And so to all the strong, resilient women in the audience, I applaud you, and this award is also an honor to all of you. So thank you. So my mom and grandma, they showed me what it means to be proud and to stand up for myself, including bullies at school. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard to do those things. And, coming from a small place like Westport, there aren't many role models, as we heard earlier. There aren't a lot of role models in places like that. I didn't know many people who went to college. So I literally applied to one college, and that was Greg's wife's current her alma mater, and realized that, wow, I could have applied for more than one college. I didn't even know you could do that. So, but to be honored in this way by WSU really fills me with pride, and especially as a small town kid with modest beginnings, I even as a U.S. ambassador, which is an incredibly huge honor and recognition. Does anyone know what the official title of a U.S. ambassador is? There are 2 words that precede that are part of the title. It's extraordinary and plenipotentiary U.S. ambassador to, and I was Barbados and 6 other island nations. So I was commissioned to 7 countries as their U.S. ambassador. And what plenipotentiary means is, does anyone know what plenipotentiary means? I certainly didn't. They send you to ambassador school for things like this. So I learned in ambassador school, which was amazing. I'll tell you offline. Plenipotentiary means you're not just speaking for the United States or speaking for the president. When you speak as ambassador in your country, you literally are speaking the president's voice. Plenipotentiary means one voice. So you're speaking, when you speak, you are the president's, not just representative, but you are the president of the United States in that country. So there's only one person in the entire US government that's higher ranked than a sitting ambassador, and that is the president. So when you're in your country, you're higher ranked than the vice president, the secretary of state, the secretary of defense, everybody. But it doesn't probably work that way. Didn't have to test that out. So at the Murrow College, I learned how to write. I learned how to think. I learned how to ask better questions and to find clarity in complicated moments. So that came in handy as an ambassador. And I had extraordinary teachers, including one right here, Roberta Kelly, who absolutely hates being recognized. So Roberta taught me how to write with a critical eye. She was in the Huterman line of grading. So if you misspelled something or you got a fact wrong, you got a 0. Like you were toast. So I was terrified of her for most of my time. You know this. But we are now very good friends. And I look at those times of the work that I do now. I mean, every word matters. Spelling a person's name matters. And I did learn my favorite ABCs of good writing: accuracy, brevity, and clarity. And if you can do that, you're set. it's how it shaped how I think and how I lead. And Roberta, I want to say thank you and for putting me on a good path. So that carried me from journalism. I was an AP reporter early in my career, to my PR career, to my career as a U.S. diplomat, and then losing my ambassadorship in a bar in Miami airport when the current occupant of the White House became president. I shared with someone earlier, I was sitting in the bar, I ordered two cocktails. It might have been like Bloody Marys, and I was ready for at noon on inauguration day, you lose your ambassadorship if you're a political appointee like myself. So I was ready, and I was watching the clock, and I'm like to myself, I'm still ambassador. I'm still ambassador. I'm still ambassador. Oops, I'm not ambassador anymore. So I really just want to say thank you again for this incredible honor, and I want to share a little bit of my native culture with you. So if I can have if you would indulge me, please lift your hands like this. So in my culture, it's part of our communication. So you'll see photos of the Chinook people, and they'll be kind of waving their arms like this. And it means something incredibly meaningful to me, and I hope it means something to you. This means I lift you higher than myself. And so when that is what Murrow does, it did for me, it did for our other awardees, and it hopefully does for the world, because what we do here matters, and lifting other people up matters. And regardless of what happens on the news on a daily basis, and I do feel for you having to report all the horrible things that are happening in our country and around the world. But it's important to know those things, but to remember at the end of the day, if you just remember one thing, I lift you higher than myself. So thank you.